You're watching a movie in Spanish, you follow almost everything, then a Spanish speaker turns to you and asks one simple question, and your mind goes completely, embarrassingly blank. What just happened? Here's the truth nobody tells you. You are not bad at languages. Understanding and speaking are two different skills, running on two different systems, and you've been training only one of them. Welcome back to How Languages Work. Today, why your brain can understand a language it cannot speak, and the exact steps to close that gap. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what's happening inside your head, why it's completely normal, and 3 techniques that turn passive knowledge into real conversation. Ready? Let's open your brain. Part 1. The 2 dictionaries in your head. Your brain doesn't keep one dictionary, it keeps 2, a recognition dictionary, words you know when you hear or read them, and a production dictionary, words you can pull out yourself, on demand, mid-sentence. Casa, maison, house, you recognize thousands. Producing them is another story. And research confirms it again and again. Your recognition vocabulary is always bigger than your production vocabulary. At every level, in every language, the gap shrinks as you improve, but it never fully disappears. Don't believe me? It's true, even in your native language. You understand words like meticulous, quintessential, nevertheless, instantly. But when did you last actually say one of them? Exactly. Recognizing a word is a multiple choice question. Producing it is the essay, and you can't pass one exam by studying for the other. Part 2. Why understanding feels so easy. When you listen, you don't actually process every word. Your brain grabs the words it knows, adds the situation, the speaker's tone, their gestures, your expectations, and fills in everything else. In a restaurant, you barely need the menu words at all. Context does half the work. Linguists noticed something remarkable about this. You can often understand a whole sentence using vocabulary and context alone. No grammar processing required. Meaning first, syntax optional. Your brain takes that shortcut every single time it can. So understanding a movie doesn't prove your grammar is ready. It proves your brain is brilliant at guessing. That's a real skill, and it matters. But it is not the same muscle as speaking. It never was. Part 3. What speaking actually demands. To say one simple sentence, your brain must choose the words, retrieve them, not just recognize them, conjugate the verb, put everything in the right order, and physically move your mouth. All of it. Live in about 1 second while the other person watches you. That's why you freeze. It's not that the words aren't in there. They are. But they're filed for recognition, not retrieval. It's like knowing a song perfectly when it plays, and being unable to sing it from silence. And pressure makes everything worse. Anxiety physically narrows retrieval. Researchers call the effect an affective filter. The more you panic, the less your brain finds. That blank moment isn't a lack of talent. It's a traffic jam. Part 4. The science. 2 famous ideas explain this whole video. In the 1980s, linguist Stephen Krashen argued that we acquire languages through comprehensible input, listening to and reading things we mostly understand. Input is the fuel. Without mountains of it, nothing else works. On this, he was right. But in Canada, researcher Krashen Swain studied French immersion students, children taught in French for years. Their comprehension became nearly native. Their speaking, still full of gaps. Years of pure input had not produced accurate speech. Her conclusion, published in 1985, became famous. Output matters. Speaking forces your brain to actually process grammar, and to notice the gap between what you want to say and what you can say. That noticing is where speaking gets built. So keep both ideas in one line. Input fills the tank. Output builds the engine. Part 5. How to close the gap. 3 techniques that actually work. 1. Flip your flashcards. Don't ask yourself what the Spanish word means. That's recognition, and it's too easy. Ask, how do I say this in Spanish? Recall, not recognition. It feels harder because it is, and that difficulty is exactly what builds the production dictionary. 2. Shadowing. Play native audio and repeat it out loud, half a second behind, like an echo. It trains retrieval, pronunciation, and rhythm at the same time, with 0 conversation pressure. 1 focused minute a day beats an hour of theory. 3. Narrate your life. Alone, out loud, in your target language. I'm making coffee. I need to leave at 8. It feels silly. Completely. It's also pure production practice with the world's most patient listener, you. And when you're ready for real humans, start small and safe. Voice notes to yourself, a language exchange partner, or a patient tutor. Speaking is a muscle. It grows from reps, not from theory. So no, you're not broken, and you haven't wasted a single hour of all that listening and reading. That input is real wealth, a full tank. Now you finally know what was missing, the engine. Here's your whole method in 3 lines. Understand the gap. You have 2 dictionaries. Respect the skill. Speaking is live assembly, not memory. And train the muscle. Recall, shadow, narrate. Every learner goes through a silent period. It's completely normal. Just don't let it become a silent life. Say something badly today. That's the only road to saying it well. If this video explained something you've felt for years, subscribe. Because next time, Spanish, French, and Italian are basically the same language. And I can prove it. Sources for every claim are in the description. See you in the next one.